In Greek mythology, few figures are as terrifying and misunderstood as Medusa, a monster with snakes for hair, eyes that could turn anyone into stone. But what if the story you've heard about Medusa isn't the whole truth? Because long before she became a monster, Medusa was something very different. She was human, and her story is far more tragic than most people realize. This is the true story of Medusa. The beautiful priestess. Long before the curse, Medusa was known for her beauty. She lived in ancient Greece and served as a priestess in the temple of Athena. As a priestess, Medusa had taken a sacred vow. She was devoted entirely to Athena, and her life was meant to be one of discipline and purity. But Medusa's beauty soon caught the attention of someone far more powerful, the god of the sea himself. Poseidon's obsession. The sea god Poseidon became obsessed with Medusa. In many versions of the myth, Poseidon pursued her relentlessly. And one day, inside the sacred temple of Athena, something happened that would change Medusa's life forever. Different versions of the story describe this event in different ways, but what happened inside that temple angered Athena deeply, and instead of punishing Poseidon, Athena punished Medusa. The terrible curse. Furious that her temple had been desecrated, Athena placed a terrible curse upon Medusa. Her beautiful hair transformed into writhing snakes, her face became monstrous, and her eyes gained a horrifying power. Anyone who looked directly into Medusa's eyes would instantly turn to stone. In a single moment, Medusa's life was destroyed. The woman who was once admired for her beauty was now feared by the world. Exile. Medusa was forced into exile. She fled far from human civilization and lived on a distant island. There, surrounded by darkness and isolation, she lived with two other creatures known as the Gorgons. But unlike them, Medusa had once been human. Travelers who wandered too close to her island never returned. Statues of stone surrounded her home, silent reminders of those who had crossed her path. Over time, Medusa became a legend, a monster spoken about in whispers. But her story was not yet over. The hero Perseus. Many years later, a young hero named Perseus was given an impossible mission. He was ordered to bring back the head of Medusa. To most people, the task sounded like suicide. After all, anyone who looked at Medusa would instantly become stone. But Perseus had help from the gods. Athena gave him a polished shield. The god Hermes gave him a sharp sword. These gifts would help him survive the encounter. The final confrontation. When Perseus reached Medusa's island, he knew he could not look directly at her. Instead, he used the reflection in Athena's shield. Carefully, slowly, he approached the sleeping Gorgon, and with one swift strike, Perseus cut off Medusa's head. Even in death, her power remained. Her gaze could still turn enemies into stone. Perseus used this power in later battles to defeat his enemies. But Medusa's tragic story had come to an end. The legacy of Medusa. Over time, Medusa became one of the most famous figures in all of Greek mythology. Some see her as a terrifying monster. Others see her as a tragic victim of the gods. Today, her image appears in art, literature, and even modern movies. Her story continues to fascinate people thousands of years after it was first told, because Medusa's legend is more than just a monster story. It is a reminder that sometimes the most terrifying figures in mythology were once human. Outro. And that is the tragic story of Medusa, a woman cursed by the gods, feared by the world, and remembered forever in the legends of Greek mythology.